Thank you for inviting me. And I must admit that I was pleasantly well educated in the last half an hour I'm sitting on hypertension. I loved my previous speaker's talk and I have a lot of questions to ask him. Dr. Mahapatra, thank you for inviting me. But I have just two topics to speak on today regarding interventions. One is the adrenal. And let's have pheochromocytoma and paraganglioma as adrenal tumors that cause excessive release of catecholamines. Let's be honest about it. When we go for operating these patients, we have our physicians by our side, but we have a better understanding of the whole disease once we do and interact with our physicians. In our center, we have the the vinyl mandelic acid as the and the epinephrine norepinephrine levels as the basis of investigations. We do the CT, but for metastatic paragangliomas, MRI is our objective of choice. For functional imaging, we have the scintigraphy, MIBG 123, somatoreceptor imaging. And sometimes, even with these nuclear devices, we even treat malignant paragangliomas. Now, for pre-op management, I must admit, we start off with our alpha blockers. After good control, we go to our beta blockers. But in those patients who have a low ejection fraction, in those patients who have a cardiac problem, we do not give too much of beta blockers. Calcium channel blockers are given by the physician. We have a high sodium diet and increase of fluid to restore the blood volume pre-operatively. We avoid drugs that release catecholamines like steroids, amitriptyline, and cocaine into cocaine addicts. Now, the biggest problem here is in pre-operative assessment. What about those patients who are biochemically silent, who have no such problems, who are not really hypertensive, but yes, who have a few, but they are silent? Do we need to treat them? Looking into a lot of literature and in our center, yes, the goal is to minimize intraoperative hemodynamic instability. And I think these patients with a bit of alpha blockers preoperatively will be good candidates for surgery. In the management of hypertensive crisis, I love the talk of my earlier speakers where they spoke on spironolactone as the last big drug now in hypertension. I must admit, after having a good alpha blockage and after a week of alpha blockage, beta blockage for about a few days, in our surgery point of view, the only thing here is early ligation of the adrenal vein. And this, without touching the tumor at all, is really performed very well by robotic surgery. There are a lot of studies which show the persistent postoperative hypertension varies between 30 and 60%. And it had been shown that tumor size and preoperative levels of catecholamines were associated with postoperative hemodynamic stability. Now, this is robotic surgery. This is clamping I've just clamped the adrenal vein. And once you've clamped the adrenal vein, there is a less catecholamines in the body at that particular moment of time. Robotically, the advantage, of course, is that the tumor, as you can see, being removed right now, that's the tumor, that's the adrenal. We hardly hold the adrenal gland at all in these cases. So once the vein is ligated without much of traction on the tumor, there is we've hardly gone into hypertensive crisis. You can do it robotically, you can do it laparoscopically. There is no difference in the long-term results. Though I must admit, for pheochromocytomas and functioning adrenal tumors, I prefer robotically. My next talk is on nephron-sparing surgery. There is no doubt that today we're looking at nephron-sparing surgery for small renal masses. Even for larger renal masses today, we are still looking at nephron-sparing surgery because radical nephrectomy has an increased risk of chronic renal disease. This is how we look. This is how we grade our small renal masses, but it's not only by size, it's also by location, endophytic, exophytic. Here the problem is there a positive effect of blood pressure in partial nephrectomy? There are a lot of studies done. We also have other studies in our cases, except for one article by Nathan. It has been shown that When a follow-up, partial nephrectomy does not bother with hypertension in the sense if you got hypertension before partial nephrectomy, it most make it worse. And if you've done partial nephrectomy, you are not a candidate for hypertension because it's nephron sparing, provided your other kidney is normal. Yes, warm ischemia time. Till 25-minute threshold, we do not have to clamp the artery, the vein at all. So we just only clamp the artery during robotic partial nephrectomy and not the vein. So a warm ischemia time can be extended till 25 minutes. If there's a complex tumor and you clamping the artery and the vein, then we put ice until that till 58 minutes. We are quite okay so that these patients do not go into hypertension post-operatively. So here is another article which shows that the partial nephrectomy does not result in initial or long-term post-operative deterioration in blood pressure. Now, these are the cases which we have done. These are all sorts of cases. These are exophytic and endophytic. Here, a lot of us do PET scans after the surgery. Sometimes the PET scan doesn't fill it up. For renal tumors is the PSMA PET, which can be of some use. We always do a three-dimensional reconstruction and an ultrasound intraoperatively for endophytic tumors. So in these cases, sometimes when you are doing this, and if you want to make sure that you have removed all the cancerous part, you can inject indigocarmine after ligating, after clamping the renal artery. And if you see here, once you have injected indigocarmine, the normal tissue is green and the tumor tissue is black. So after you coat that out, you can remove just the tumor tissue. So these are the type of cases I'm speaking about. In our cases, we only put a bulldog on the artery. The vein is not put a bulldog at all. We score the tumor and then we remove the tumor. The nephrorraphy is done. In large tumors, we have something called the MRATE, which is the modified robotic assisted tumor nucleation. See, don't forget that there's a fibrous tissue between the tumor and the proper renal caps and the proper nephron, the non-cancerous nephron. And here what happens is between the cancer and parenchymal interface, if you remove all that by enucleation and you have a 2 millimeter sliver of parenchymal tissue on the superficial, then you are quite okay as far as the cut margins are clear. We have partial nephrectomy for central renal tumors. Here, of course, there is no doubt that you have to clamp the artery and the vein, and here you have cold ischemia. You're putting ice along the kidney. In cases sometimes when there are solitary kidneys and you have something like a little cyst here, you're not sure on CT, what we have done is we have done contrast-induced ultrasound, and there we have managed to pick up this little solid lesion inside the renal cyst. And this has been done partial nephrectomy robotically. Sometimes you can actually just clamp this vessel, which means you're not clamping the artery at all. The vein, of course, is not clamped, and just the artery to the tumor can be clamped, so there's hardly any warm ischemia. In some very large masses, as you can see, this is a case of the similar case, a large mass. Though it is the size is big, it is endophytic and exophytic. We still do a partial nephrectomy in these cases. If you see this carefully, it's removed, it's put in the bag. You sometimes are not sure whether you have removed the whole thing properly. So you take extra bit of tissue and you have a report which says that it is cut margins are clear, and also that the other thing which you have taken, the revised margin, is also clear. We can't compromise with cancer. Here is another patient which has a large angiomyolipoma causing pain and causing hypertension or because of pressure. Here it is a large angiomyolipoma here. These cases are first had pre-operative angiogram done, and then you embolize this vessel because an angiolipoma is a very, very vascular vessel. You take the patient to the operation theater from the cardiac cath lab itself. It is embolized and straight taken to the operation theater. Super selective embolization is done. If you look at this carefully now, This is the patient which was taken straight from there to the artery and the vein. You can see very clearly this that yellow thing which you see there is all that is just where the scissor is all the angiomyolipoma. It's a large angiomyolipoma. It's all removed and robotically suturing has been done. The histopath says there is no evidence of malignancy and it says it's angiomyolipoma. The ultrasound post-operatively after 2 months has no evidence of that angiomyolipoma. This can be done robotically. When you have something like this, which is an endophytic tumor, here is where an intraoperative ultrasound is essential. And then most of these patients where this is the kidney where the fat, this is the thing which has been scored. All that has been scored. It was most only on the posterior side. The kidney has been totally rotated. Only the artery has been clamped with the bulldog, not the vein. And of course, we have gone deep because we had the ultrasound showing us exactly where the tumor was. Histopathology says conventional clear cell renal cell carcinoma. In patients of VHL, which we have done 2 or 3 patients of VHL, there are multiple tumors. These patients are going to keep having these tumors recur. These patients definitely require partial nephrectomy and they have no reason to have a radical nephrectomy. If they have a radical nephrectomy, they go in for renal failure. In the last 2 years, we have done 55 nephron sparing surgery robotically. Artery and vein have been clamped in only 10 cases of complex tumors. There's no obvious hypertension post partial nephrectomy. Take home message is nephron sparing as far as possible. Case selection is important. For hilar and endophytic large tumors, intraoperative ultrasound is mandatory. For solitary kidneys in VHL, ultrasound Doppler intraoperative is mandatory. You can do it open, laparoscopic, or robotic. For adrenal tumors, for pheochromocytomas, without touching the tumor, robotic, I would feel, is safer. And nephron sparing and prevention of hypertension post partial nephrectomy is to be kept in mind. Thank you for a patient hearing.